Hello, my name is Hannah Turner. I'm a student at King University and I'm in the KING4000 class. Today I will be talking about a balanced life. Now, what is a balanced life? To me, a balanced life includes a number of things. I've listed a couple of them along with some research I've done. So the first thing I want to talk about is time for family, friends, and hobbies. That is like in the combination of your career. So you want to be able to work and you want to have time for your family, friends, and whatever hobbies you have. Me personally, I do photography, I like to read, I like to write, I like to do yoga, I like to go to church. I do a number of things that I would consider as hobbies. So next, it is enjoying your job along with enjoying your life. So I think a balanced life includes like not just having a job just for the finances, whether it's good or bad. It's going to a job every day that you love and have a passion for. And that leads us into our next thing, that is enjoying the passion for your job over the money. So for me, I do want to be a teacher, and a lot of you understand that teachers don't make the best salary, but I think it's very valuable and important that it is a passion I have, and I love it so much. So next is taking care of your mental health. I do this by incorporating yoga into my lifestyle and by reading my Bible and just taking time for myself and really just doing some self-care with things that help me clear my mind and take away the stress, whatever that may be. Everybody is different. And lastly, and definitely not least, is Jesus. I try to make time to pray and read my Bible, go to church every week or a couple times a week. I'm really involved in ministry, especially youth ministry, and I really want Jesus to be the core of my life and to really be the balance of my life. And I found this chart over here that kind of really simplified things down. This is like balance is the combination of body, spirit, and mind. So keeping that in mind, you could really kind of put your little things in there and figure out what works for you. So next, is such a life actually possible? I believe that it is, and here are some tips that I found in an article online. Jim here says, first, you have to include physical health, and you can do this by not letting physical health completely consume you and stress you out and think it has to be perfect and you have to lose so much weight, but rather just making it a key to be fit enough that you don't have to say no to anything you want to do, so that it doesn't like take over your life kind of thing. Because some people it does, but if that's your passion, then that's your passion. Next is family. He addresses some questions that you should ask yourself, and it is, how balanced do you need to feel with your family time? What's your relationship like with your spouse? Do you need to, fix that or change anything? Or what's your relationship with your kids? How about your parents and extended family members? He just honestly listed a lot of questions that you need to stop and say, how is my relationship in this? And what can I do to fix it? And how can I reach out? So it's constantly just reminding yourself to keep those relationships solid and healthy. Next is social. And it's having people around you that you like and trust. And it's one of the best indicators of living a long life, he says. So really just keeping your social life, important in you, on your list of priorities. So if you don't have a social life and you just let your work consume you and let that be everything, you're really not going to be healthy. So to keep your life balanced, it's keeping a social life in there too. Next is financial. The key to a personal financial health is to feel in control and know what you have, or know that you have enough money to have options. And if you're working too much and you don't have the money you need, something is clearly missing in the equation. So it's just kind of making healthy decisions on your financial basis. Business, he means that you should ask yourself how energized you are to go into work every day. And are you excited to be making a difference and making progress, or do you actually dread the monotone of your day-to-day drag? So it's really making the decision about your job, if you like it, and if you don't, maybe you need to reconsider what you're doing. Civic, he says, how much time are you able to invest in the things you care about in your community? That can mean anything from volunteering to serving on the PTA or coaching a sports team, anything that turns you on when you give of yourself. Think of it as your attitude or gratitude. If you haven't made enough time to give back, you're missing out a real emotional payback because you are rewarded by the act of giving. And the key here isn't just signing checks. Time and talent is the real gifts. Lastly, and not least, is your spiritual life. And everybody has like kind of a different spiritual life, whether you actually are religious. He actually mentions that whether it's prayer and going to church, it can also be just taking time in nature. So it's really just taking time to incorporate a spiritual element into your life. How I plan to pursue a balanced life, as I've already mentioned, I want to be a teacher. I have chosen this career specifically because it gives me a balanced life. It is family friendly. I get weekends off, I get holidays off, I'm able to go home every evening and see my family. It is just what I want and what I picture as a balanced life. You may not want that, but it is what I want for myself, and it's what I've chosen. By doing that, I do want to make sure I have equal family time and work time. I don't want to go home every day and write lesson plans all evening. I want to make time for my family and work and separate that equally. Next to self-care, I'll do this by, as I mentioned several times, prayer, reading, doing the things that I love, things that clear my mind, and regular spiritual practices. Staying in the ministry, going to church every Sunday and Wednesday, and doing my Bible studies at home, going to separate Bible studies, things like that are important to me. Next, I want to show you just a couple pictures of what I envision as a balanced life for myself. So here we have teaching. That's what I want as my career. Next, we have just a happy family. That's one thing I think of as important, and especially these two things side by side, I want them to be balanced. Next is yoga. That is my self-care. Prayer is my spiritual element, and reading is another form of self-care, whether that be novels or the Bible or what have you. So thank you for listening today. This is my idea of a balanced life for myself. You may be able to relate to this or not, but I think I've hit a couple of key points that actually incorporate the idea that a balanced life is definitely possible. Thank you.